Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sister Talk. Oh, so yeah, we're live then. Okay, I have to make sure I muted my the YouTube.
There's a lullaby playing. I guess it was Onyx, because as soon as she muted up, I no longer hear the lullaby. It was putting me to sleep. It sounds nice though.
This is my bedtime.
And you're ready to her.
I guess I still listen to instrumental lullaby music.
Yes, you do. So there were a few topics that we wanted to discuss. V, do you want to run off the topics that we want to discuss, and then let us know which one you want to start with?
Well, I thought we were going to do check-ins first.
Oh, okay. How are things?
I'm wondering why I have two names, so I'm going to go ahead and change my name.
No, you know why. You know why.
My name is, no, I don't.
No, you know. You just refuse to think about it because it involves you saying, no, I don't want you sitting next to me. That's going to be weird. Exactly.
That's better. Yeah, I don't want to share my square. I don't like sharing.
She doesn't like sharing.
Just doing a little meditation today and centering myself, getting myself ready for the ratchetness that may come.
That's guaranteed to come.
Okay, so yeah, there's a few things that I want to share. I guess we'll start off with this this video that I saw yesterday on Kendra G's channel. And Kendra G, please do not come for us because, yeah.
We don't want no smoke?
No, it's just because I am using, I have to show some of her video. So, Onyx, did you get to check in?
I don't need to.
None of us checked in.
Did you? I just checked in. So.
Oh, okay. So just you and Onyx matter. I'm just sitting here and not mattering then. So that's my check-in.
Ella, how are you? You look gorgeous. I'm really loving your outfit.
Yay, made it about you again.
I did, didn't I? Ella, how are you doing? You're looking really beautiful and vibrant in your outfit.
Thank you. I am not doing so great, obviously. I have a bad attitude. I'm kind of hungry. My stomach is bubbly. I'm having a smoothie that is not satisfying. I think I want some meat, and I haven't eaten meat in like at least 12 years. And so I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, life is just throwing me hardballs like from every direction. And I'm just trying to breathe through these panic attacks.
My smoothie is delicious. When I was sleeping and you came yelling, I did almost have a heart attack. But this smoothie is making up for it. It's a little spicy from all the ginger that I put in there. And I may have put a little bit too much pepper to get that turmeric activated. But,
yeah, it comes out kind of, we need to like put it with a smaller holes container, because that one really does dump out a lot of pepper. There was too much pepper in my smoothie too.
I usually use the other container of pepper.
I didn't
But-
see the other shaker. I never see the other shaker. I always get a whole bunch of pepper in mine because I can't find the other shaker.
Sitting right by the blender.
You know, I never see what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always in a panic attack, because I can't find stuff and can't
Whoa.
do stuff.
We'll do some yoga today.
I do yoga almost every day.
It's a nice day. It's very sunny and very warm. So maybe we'll go sit by the water and just.
I'll get in the water.
Yeah, I mean, even that, it's very warm today. So that would be a good idea.
Yeah, no, that won't be.
Onyx, if you have anything to share, doesn't seem like you do. So I'm gonna try to find.
I
DJ.
wish I could find that video. The TikTok is super important. I think while you're finding the other video, I'm gonna switch to TikTok and see if I can go and search and find it. Just a sec.
Yeah, well, mine is up, but now I don't see it, so I have to find it again. Yeah, here it is. Oh, I have to click on it.
So
Okay.
Like, did anybody tell Cynthia to pull up? I feel like it'd be more exciting if she was on here. I have someone to argue with. I'm gonna text her and see if she.
I'll argue with you. Just engage and I will.
No,
Of course, you can still ask her.
I don't want to argue with you. I like to argue with someone who's younger than me. So
You're a bully.
yeah. That feels about right now. So, but not really. Like, you can't bully Cynthia. Like, honestly, ain't nobody gonna bully her.
Right.
She just comes.
Her
with-
energy,
so that's kind of fun. Huh?
her energy is too big for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She comes with the smoke. And yeah. I'll go find her.
Okay, so I need you ladies to let me know how much, or if you can hear.
Oh, I found it. On TikTok. So let me see how I can send it to you. Can I send it to you from TikTok? Let's see.
So TikTok is an app that's on phones. So no. I mean,
Oh.
yes, you can,
But you're not able to get it?
but just try and see if it to try.
Because otherwise you can make me a admin and then what is the rest a host, and then I can share it from my phone.
I don't know how to do that. So just send
Did you
it
say
to
you
me.
don't want to, or you don't know how to?
I don't know how to do that.
You just see those little dots on the side of her thingy. You select on them, and then you just make her a co-host. I think
Okay.
I actually think everybody's already a co-host, Ella.
I thought they were too, but I did it. So
Okay, let's see.
yeah, I know Onyx is already one, and I just made her.
I
Okay,
didn't ask
so-
for this power either.
So let's play this video. And so in this video, this lady, you can't really hear, you have to listen hard to this Asian lady of no color talking about her life with her passport bro. She's been with him for 8 years now, living in the home with him. She has children with him already. And she's just going to talk about how that's going for her.
So you do realize you just said you were going to do the one with Kendra G. And this is
What did-
not. You just
What?
said you were going to do right before you played this,
Oh,
you
this
said
is-
that you were gonna play one with.
Okay,
Timothy.
I'm sorry, this is Tanya TKO. I'm sorry. I got them wrong. It's not. Sorry, Tanya.
We can't hear her. She looked like she faking. I'm sorry. With her nails all big. Maybe. How did she do anything with her nails that long? Maybe she don't do no work.
It's really
I'm
hard.
kidding, but why can't we hear her?
Because I just paused it because you're talking.
But I can hear her. She wasn't saying anything.
She's playing a recording of a conversation that she's had that she had with her husband.
Oh, because I can't hear anything. Okay.
And so nobody could hear anything because you were talking.
Okay, well, can you rewind it so we could try to hear it? Because I couldn't hear anything, and that's why I was talking.
Yes. So I can work. And I get no salary, I get nothing.
So if you guys didn't hear her, she's saying she asked him if she can put the younger kid in full-time preschool so that she can work. Because she doesn't have any money. And he's saying that she just sits around in the house on her phone all day. And she's saying that that's not what she does. She said, "What did I do?" He said, "You don't do anything. That's the problem." And then she said, "Really? You sit around and play on your phone all day."
It's very important.
She's really pretty.
They cook. See this? It's the oil that's splashing your hands. You know, when you cook a lot,
I'm really upset if I was that pretty. I'll just say that.
I don't know what this one is like. I fry something and it's hot and the oil is just like.
So he got her in there frying all this damn chicken and stuff. The oil is popping on her. She in a hot ass damn kitchen. This is too much.
Her cooking. So since then I started wearing airplanes were long sleeve to cook, like your birds, to cut, you know, on your finger and things like that. That's a little thing that
I'm gonna fast forward. And
where she's showing what it is that she's doing in a day. And you see she has some little biracial babies in the house with her. So this is what
the reason why I fast forwarded because it's just the same. She takes a lot of time to talk about the little spots of grease on her. That's it. And then this is where she's gonna show what she does in a day.
what she's doing
I like
in
this.
a day. So she, I mean, look, I want you to see from time to time.
Why does it look like she doesn't have pants on?
So you see, she
Okay, so that's pretty much sums up
I feel like
the,
this is every stay-at-home mom's complaint with the partner. He thinks she does
Right.
nothing wrong. She does everything. This is like
Right.
I don't understand.
yeah, so.
So
What,
he just found him a woman from outside of the country because he thought that if he got him a lady from outside of the country, that she was going to be a traditional lady and she was going to be happy to be his slave at
Well,
home
most
and
guys,
not get paid anything.
guys do.
Huh?
I think this is just common for guys in general, like across the board.
Right. No one saying that it's not. So my point is not it's not because of this is I don't know if you're saying it's not because he's like a passport boy or anything. It's just like dudes are now they're getting women from outside of the country, hoping that they will find this submissive traditional woman that will be grateful to be their in-home slave as well as childcare, and they're not grateful for it. Because why would they be grateful? It's not anything to be grateful for.
I just don't see the basis for that being the conclusion that he's and I say that because this is what the guys just think. I don't know why the conclusion is reached that he thought because she was from a foreign country that she would be
submissive, like she would be okay with that.
Submissive. This is more like traditional roles.
That she would be
Like,
okay
she
with
would be
that
okay
kind of living.
staying at home and fulfilling all the household duties and taking care of the children.
Well, because American guys know that American women don't think that that's like
That's
easy
not true
peasy.
though. That's just it's such a common complaint for stay-at-home moms. It really is.
Exactly. So it's a common complaint for stay-at-home moms. So the American stay-at-home moms are complaining that this is not easy and they are not respecting us and thinking that, they're not valuing us for what we're doing. So they're saying, okay, well, we will go and get a chick from outside of the country and then maybe she will be grateful for what we're providing her.
I see.
yeah, they're saying that the defect of Western women,
I see.
because at first that was the problem. The problem was Black women. Black women just had attitudes and they're lazy and they just don't want to do the housework and be wives. And then it was so they needed to go get Becky's. And then they went and got their preferences and their Becky's, and then they those Becky's and stuff got the same treatment. And they realized, okay, the dudes are the problem. And now they're saying, okay, well, we're just going to go across to these developing countries and find, and which is, they've been doing this, and I'll bring that up in a little while. But then they're saying, okay, we're just going to go, get these other women, and they're getting these other women. And this is what these other women are getting treated like garbage, and they're having breakdowns, and they're using them as
indentured slaves, essentially.
Yeah, indentured slaves.
It's actually it's terrible. I mean,
and it's really sad because I feel like they feed them this whole American dream, like you're going to come over here and you're just going to live it up. And she does have this beautiful house, and she has her children, and
her nails are done. She looks like she probably had she looks like she probably had a facial.
I mean, we can say, oh, she has this huge house, but if you're stuck in a huge house and you have no autonomy over your body and your
life at all,
your life at all, then you're just in a beautiful prison. like for me, I cannot imagine that existence where you're stuck. Like that, it doesn't matter if your house is beautiful, if you wake up every day and you have to ask your husband for money, if you want $5 to go get something, or you want to go see your friends, and no,
Yeah, that's
this
what,
man is in control over your entire existence. That's not
Right. There is a very selective few women or people in general that enjoy that kind of lifehood. And that's like a kink. It's like in the BDSM type world. And if you're not that very select type of person, then more than likely that's not going to be okay with you.
it's called modern day slavery is what it is.
Right.
It's-
But I mean, there
it's
are some
literally-
people that are okay with it and they actually enjoy it and they actually enjoy it another way. But if they're not that type of person, then they're not going to enjoy it. Like it's like, you know, it's an acquired taste per se.
It's modern.
And
day
if you don't have that acquired taste, then more than likely you're not going to like it. Like if you don't like Brussels sprouts, if you don't like the sliminess of okra, it's not your thing. It's not your thing. And more than likely it's not going to be your thing. Like 9 times out of 10,
But
it's
I
not
feel
going to
like
be your
even if it's a person's thing, it's like kinks or something that people probably don't want to do all the time. It's just like,
No, some people do want to do their kink all the time.
okay, I guess, but what you're describing is what V is describing as modern day slavery. So,
Right. And some people are okay with that. They have whole websites for it.
right, but we're not discussing the little kink.
We're not. I'm just saying my point is just that
I know,
there
people
are
who like-
some people
there's
that he can
people who
find
like
that will be
that
okay
too,
with it,
as
but
well.
there's
I'm just
very, very few.
Oh, sure, okay. Point.
And
noted.
she clearly did not sign up for that. And most people aren't going to.
Mhm.
So
yeah. And like the thing is, like, I was like, well, you know, why doesn't she just leave? Because for me, I'd been out of, I would have been out of there.
she clearly doesn't have any money.
It's called
Even with
legal.
my children, even without money, I was still thinking, okay, I would have found someone to leave. But I'm thinking, like, this dude probably has all her papers. Like he doesn't seem like a guy like that isn't going to go get her green card. That's something that he would have had to apply for. He would have had to. She can't come to this country and apply for her own green card. He would have had to do that. So chances are he didn't apply for her green card. So she can't just go out and get a job, even if he married her, if he didn't apply for her green card. And he probably has all her papers. And so someone that controlling isn't going to give her the necessary things
Tools to have her freedom. Yeah.
to leave him. And like, she really did seem very, very desperate. And this whole movement that they have going on isn't something new. It's something that's
They're just
been
publicizing it.
for a very long, yeah, it's something that's really been going on for a very long time. And I was trying to find the video that I was watching the other day where I saw that I think it was the Philippines, where they filed a lawsuit actually against America because they had so many cases of biracial children left behind from
Americans, Black American soldiers.
American, yeah, not all of them were soldiers, but a lot of American men of all races, but 25% of these children were biracial. They were left by Black men. And when you look at it, I was thinking, okay, 25%, that still leaves, you know, a great number of other races. But we're not, 25% is a huge number of biracial children that are left in the Philippines without a father, without any child support. And they were talking about the the racial identity issue that these children have, the poverty that these children are in, the psychological issues that these children are left with, and the fact that they literally have to file a lawsuit against America to fight for child support. Like, your entire country is being sued for child support to
Right.
try to collect child support for these children. So this is not a new phenomenon. The fact that these guys are making it public, this is going to come back to haunt them big time. Like, they don't even understand the tremendous consequences that are going to come back.
Well, and the thing is, I think you're absolutely right. It is it's gonna fall back on them. It's gonna have tremendous consequences for them. But it seems like there needs to be some consequences. I mean, literally, these kids need help. It's not like they're oh, fudge, my phone is dying and it's on the charger. I don't understand, like it shows that it's charging, it's on the charger, but it's like I'm at 10%. So my phone's gonna die in a little bit. But yeah, these the kids need help. Like, there needs to be some consequences. Snatch these people up and shake them and make them shake out their pockets and give these kids their money. If that's the only thing that they can get, at least money. They shouldn't, at least the minimum thing that they should have is not have to be in poverty. At least make it so they can get some therapy, because they're definitely going to need some. They're going to be impoverished, so they're going to have bad clothes. They're going to be made fun of because they're Black, or are darker and have browner skin, and they're going to have the psychological issues, and then they're not going to have a father, so they're only going to have one parent taking care of them. And we're just going to let this happen. That's not okay. So yeah, snatch these dudes up, shake out their pockets, give me this money, break yourself, and make them accountable for it. So dudes, go ahead, keep on doing your passport bros things. Make it be known that this is what you guys are doing, so now we'll know exactly who to go to. And they'll be like, okay, snatch up these dudes.
Like, you're gonna make a movement to go
Right, go to them first.
To go and not even to go to developed countries. You're gonna literally say, I'm going to go, exactly, so predatory.
It's disgusting.
You're gonna say, I'm gonna go to poor countries that are developing for sex
and
tourism.
victimizing children. So that's what it's doing. It's victimizing children.
Prey on women in poverty, because there's where the desperation will be. For research, when there's lack of resources, there's desperation, and that's pretty much what it is you're preying on someone who is a knowledge, they're not, this is premeditated, and it is a crime, but they're saying, let me make this criminal activity a vacation for me, a hobby and a sport.
It's like, then, and put on some protection then, bro. Like, if it's really going to be a hobby.
Well, because that's why they're one of the benefits of going overseas
is catching a disease
and preying on vulnerable populations is that these people won't have the resources to come after them, to pursue them. So it is like, I can and will go be a predator and safely get on a plane and be on with my life. Or, the opposite, just stay in the situation, and it's unlikely that these women will pursue any kind of charges against them, pursue any kind of, any of and most of, let's just be real, a lot of these places they go, they don't really have strong rights for women anyway. So there isn't there is a huge recourse for women in these situations, So
is that, could you just try to switch to this? Okay. Well, I still think that's even like you said, that they're victimizing women. I mean, they're also creating some victims as well. They're victimizing the woman by impregnating her, causing her the suffering, the pain, and emotional distress, and of having to take care of a child single-handedly in an impoverished situation. But they're also victimizing some children that they're creating that's going to be victimized emotionally, physically, and
abuse probably, because you got to think about this. The
right.
women who have engaged in this type of relationships are doing so because they are in need. They're probably impoverished.
Under too much stress, and the parent is usually stressed out and angry and hot tempered because they're under rested, they're itchy, they're like people. I don't even want to go there.
Well,
There's like,
they're gonna. So the women are engaged in these kind of relationships because of the monetary opportunities and because of poverty. But then what happens is when they are left with pregnancies and they are abandoned with the child, those the poverty level increases, right? So not only
because now you have to
the desperation,
whatever little bit of money you had, you have to afford it for 2 people or 3 people,
right? And like you said, all the stressors that they experience with the poverty are magnified because now you have to take care of a child and you have less resources, you have less time, you have the medical care that's required for that child, you have the schooling that is required, the clothing, and then you're doing all of this without the father and with the financial hardship. So when that happens with a woman, you're absolutely right, because now the child is going to be likely subjected to
be left alone. If he's not just left alone,
parent under the care and resentful. Let's be real, because that's resentful as well. So it is very unfortunate and it's criminal, and there should be some very swift consequences. And I think that we will, because it's becoming so, as V was saying, it is becoming not, I mean, it was prevalent before, but it's becoming
right. And the thing is, what sucks? What sucks the most about this? It's how it's taking somebody from another country to be like, no, we're not going to allow these people to leave impoverished children. You need to shake them up, make them do something. Notice how it's taken another country to do something about that? Like what? America could have been doing it. But instead, we just want to say, oh, no, they're not paying child support. Oh, no, they're not taking care of their kids. Somebody do something. But that country, it's like, no, y'all go do something. Because we're not going to have you not do nothing. Y'all going to do something.
Country. They're leaving the problem in their country. They're leaving all
right. But my point is, in America, our problem is still in our country. We're still dealing with the problem of impoverished women trying to take care of kids by themselves here in America. And because of the dudes that are leaving them are also here in America. So America can do something about these dudes doing it and force them to take care and pay for their children. But we're not doing that. So my point is, the other country is going to make them do something. Why haven't America been making them do something? Why haven't they been doing something about it?
Because most of the Americans and the governments are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly.
Let's just be real about
it. And also, what benefit do they have to uplift the Black community? Because that's what it will be doing. Like our society, our government is not about having a healthy family within the Black community. They're just not about that. So if it took them getting the Black man back into the household or forcing him to take care of his children and have some healthy, mentally and strong Black people, why would they want that? That's clearly not on their agenda. So that's why they're not doing it.
But they don't create Black families because they left their kids.
Exactly. That's why they're not doing it. That's my entire point. That's why they're not doing it. The other countries say, you guys need to do it. What?
No.
When they're doing it, doing for child support. Those men left the children in the Philippines. So there's nothing they can do. The government can't force Black men to raise their kids.
But they can mandate.
I'm not saying to raise their kids. I'm saying pay some ends. Go to work and pay some child support at least.
Mandate the
That doesn't create families, is what I'm saying.
But they can
No,
mandate.
I wasn't saying that it does, but I'm saying it creates a less of a stressful situation for that child to live in.
Look, the same way they mandated vaccines, they can mandate vasectomies. Like if you were
Work.
doomed and you're sitting here and you were found guilty of this atrocity, mandate vasectomy.
Sally, I really see it leading to mandated castration, because these men are
Hold on, castration.
no, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. And I know that sounds harsh, but when you are literally making videos after video.
Oh, look at her. I mean, at least she looks really pretty when she, with her frozen self. She's passionate.
That's a good thing.
But she is saying, I'll try to finish for her. If you're making videos and you're advertising,
Go after video, like when guys are making videos saying that I can't control my sexual behavior, I can't control making 7 kids by 7 different mothers and abandoning them and not supporting them. A woman needs to tell me when to put on a condom. A woman needs to tell me if I need to pull out. A woman like, I have no autonomy over my body. So somebody needs to control me. Like that's literally what they're saying all over the internet for the whole world to see. And then they're also saying, however, I'm going to go to different countries and make babies and leave them. While I do that in your country too. And I'm gonna go over to your community, people of no color, and I'm gonna go over to your community, Asian people of no color, and everybody else, I'm gonna continue to go into your communities.
create
and make
dysfunction.
all these babies and not take care of any of them. Because but I'm not responsible for that because those women didn't tell me to put on a condom. Somebody's gonna, at some point, men of no color are gonna say, okay, well, you can't control anything, let me control it for you. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I don't think that they will, I mean, I feel like they will have some initial pushback, a few, but I think Black men will be okay with it as long as white men mandate it. Like, I really do. I think they'll be like, okay, at least they have these resources for us. I think if white men mandate it, they will be okay. I don't think that they will push back on it at all. I don't.
I think they're gonna cry victim and say, oh, Black women need to save us.
Can you change the title?
Huh?
Change the title to the Sisters Discuss the Passport Bros. I would tell Cindy, why don't you come on? Cindy said,
I didn't give it a title, but I promise you they're gonna cry victim. But the thing is, Black women are gonna march for them and say,
you can go on and change the title in YouTube.
I didn't put it.
Yesterday?
I just feel like for me, I think that would be anything that the government controls is going to be misused. So that's not going to be a good thing. It's going to be a bad thing.
Oh, she said send her the link. Okay, send somebody the link. Oh, let me see if I can.
Ella, can you send the
No.
link?
Well, because I can't. My phone is dying in 3 seconds, and I can't log
I will
into
do
this
it.
thing.
Just hold your horses. You know, so why is she so hostile? Like,
I'm letting you know that I'm not going to be on this in about 0.3 percentage that my phone is at, even though it's allegedly charging. And I don't know how to do that. I'm not doing all that. This is not launching. This thing, I went into the email. It says Safari cannot open this page because the address is invalid for the Zoom that we're currently on right now. So I don't know what's going on. I don't. So Yeah.
I can send you another, I would send you another link then.
Okay. You'll have to send it to yeah, Miss Chris.
But I wasn't paying attention, but like I was gonna say, don't you have a different device you can be on? Like seriously.
I'm on her device. I have her device in my hand, but actually I have my other device too, but I don't think it's charged.
Whatever.
Okay, well, I sent it.
And also when you're having a meltdown,
But
it's
that's
hard
what
to-
I like you. And she had a meltdown.
I told her I'm having some panic attacks. Okay. Let's see if it worked this time.
But yeah, so unfortunately,
It won't open. It says Safari cannot open this page because the address is invalid. So, do you not have oh, this is the one you just sent. It says sent 0 minutes ago. And when I click on it, Safari cannot open this page because the address is invalid.
okay, Jenna, you're gonna have to talk.
I'm actually trying to send Cynthia the link.
Because now I'm at 2%.
You ain't getting in there for 2%. It's like my phone would never even be on for after 2%.
Well, it's on the charger.
Okay. Mine's
So it's been charging this whole time. Like from 20% has been charging all the way down to 2%. It's allegedly still charging.
you have such big eyes. So.
Shut up.
It's like Animaniacs, and then she like squares them all up and makes them really big.
I didn't even know you could see me.
I can't. Why are your eyes so big?
I can't see it because I see my email.
Oh, they're gorgeous eyes, but it's like why is their eyes that big?
Yeah, I just like
Game on! I can't believe it. Where'd you go? Cindy, what is up?
Now-
Why did you go?
Now you can't see me?
Why are you
I
guys
didn't know
doing this? No, I can see you. I said Cynthia had just come
Oh,
on. Hold
she's
on.
still on there. She just not showing her picture. Her face.
Everybody's well, I don't see anybody's gallery.
Okay, well, I see y'all. Can you hear me?
You don't see me.
Yeah.
Welcome. It's
Well,
nice to have you here.
I see y'all's icons on there.
Oh, well, I'm still going
Excuse the noise and the background. I'm on auntie duty, so she's over here watching TV. So you gotta if you hear the noise in the background.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear no background noise yet, but okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just saying it because she just turned
Is
on the
it
TV. to watch
Ellie?
it, so. Yeah.
Oh, Ellie's so cute. I'm surprised. Bear isn't. Oh, I was gonna say I'm surprised Bear isn't playing color, but I think so.
Yeah, but let's not, for the sake of stalkers, discuss kids on here because y'all know
I
stalkers
said
like
Bear,
that.
so
Yeah,
I
but
got
still.
Yeah, let's not. But anyways, so Sin, were you listening to our conversation? We were talking about how the
Yeah, I saw that article too. From what I looked up, that started in the 1990s because of the amount of Black men who were going over there and just basically creating single mothers and leaving. So they're suing the US for child support, but they've been doing that. That came out in 93. It just got resurrected again because of somebody on TikTok doing content on it.
No, actually, yeah, but I was actually reading it, and it actually didn't even get signed until February of 2022.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, they must have been just trying to get it done for so long then. That's what must be that. What that means.
Yeah, and they had, because I watched a video on it, and they were showing, like, it was like a documentary, and they're showing a bunch of biracial children. And it was really sad because you can tell that the Aborigines were actually pretty Black, because they looked like the Aborigines. They're very beautiful children. But it was very sad because they were talking about how the Black children, the biracial children are having real bad struggles with identity issues because they don't know who they are. They're very discriminated against because of their dark skin, and they don't have any connection with their Black side because it's just like they're just born, and then their moms are upset because their dad just knocked them up, and here's you have this one Black child in your family. Your grandparents don't like you because you're dark. Your classmates are discriminated against you. Your mom doesn't like you, and so they're very depressed and they're poor, like the poverty rate, and it's just very sad what they're doing.
Yeah, but the thing of it is as of now, there's no real accountability for them even doing it in this country, because I know y'all had to have seen, and I think you referenced it, the video with the bandit who was talking about he got 7 kids by 7 women and they got his responsibility. Yeah. I mean, right now there's what method of accountability is there really to make these bandits take care of their kids? Because that's not a man who's afraid of child support. Like, he's straight up said, you can't force me to take care of some kids that I don't want. And then admitted in other interviews that he's lying to these women. He's not telling them before he has sex with them that he's going, if they get pregnant, he's gonna leave them single mother. He's waiting till after they get pregnant.
Right.
So basically, he's impregnating them and then saying, well, just don't contact me. You're going to raise it on your own. Well, so there's no incentive.
Yeah, and the fact that he's saying that he got, oh, I'm hearing the echo, that he got, he's had, because he got on, he did an interview with, I don't remember the other guy's name.
He did 2 interviews. He did.
Yeah, the one was shameless. He was shameless.
Yeah, he asked him what percentage of the women that he got pregnant got abortions, and he's gonna say, oh, well, it was like 9 out of the 10 times he got them pregnant, they got abortions, right? So you have 7 babies, and you said 9 out of the 10 times that they got pregnant, they got abortions.
I think you're hopefully not good with math.
Right.
That would be a lot of abortions.
And I'm just like,
the bottom line is that's a bandit who should have been sterilized a long time ago. And really, if Black women would stop giving birth to him and thin that herd out a little bit, then we perhaps wouldn't be dealing with such an epidemic of this.
And let's discuss why that's not happening. That's
that bandit with a baby, by the way, that bandit with a baby at one point, he was a child, because they keep running around here saying, no, we gotta protect the children. Well, children grow up into adults and then they become the bandits that are impregnating women on purpose and abandoning children.
And then saying that he's not using condoms. He literally said he doesn't use condoms because the women don't tell him to use condoms. So he's just not going to use them unless they tell him to.
Well, look, that's a valid point, and that's the disgusting thing, because the reality is this issue is largely because of women. I'm not going to say it isn't, because he should not be. I will tell you why I'm saying it is. He should not be. People like him should not be able to impregnate that many people. Like, who should see him? Like, he didn't come off as somebody who was a good mate, credible, sound, moral. Like, why is he having options? So
Competent anyway.
It is a problem. Like, he shouldn't have any options. He should.
I didn't see any redeemable qualities in him.
What?
I didn't find any redeemable qualities in him. Definitely no reason to
here.
with him.
He's sitting here with multiple, like, bold about it too, and then it's like, I'm sorry, people are choosing him. Some people are selecting him and saying, despite the fact that you have absolutely nothing to offer, despite the fact that you have no morally redeemable qualities at all, you haven't demonstrated at all that you're a good person, I'm gonna lay down with you, and you don't even have to use a condom. That is a problem. That's a
But I mean,
not to pull it entirely on us, but I'm saying if Black women would say we're not dealing with garbage, there wouldn't be so much garbage around. Like,
Right. He's benefiting from the black male worshiping culture that we live in.
he is bold. He is benefiting, and he's the fact that he can be like. Did you hear the arrogance in this dude's voice? Like, he is arrogant, and like,
Yeah, and Onyx, he went on
social media and say these things and know that he can still get hooked up.
And he did. He went on other interviews having the same arrogant attitude because he understands the level of desperation from Black women in the Black community, where he simply, because he said don't think that me saying this is going to stop women from being with me. He still knows he has options in these women, and it's clearly because they've shown that to him. Like, he can look at the climate of the community. He can see how Black women act. He understands that it doesn't matter what they bring to the table. Basically, you just have to exist as a Black man, and Black women will worship you.
And we're so much better than that. And I see it constantly. Just to bring up the Kendra show, it's so obvious. Like, the expectations and the standards for Black women to be go as low as you can, be as low as you can go to get a mate. And then specifically, if you want a Black mate, you have to be able to put up with all this. And it's like the no. But we're not saying the no. We're saying, well, okay.
That is true. I have noticed that since I've been in these Black spaces, because like for my dating experience, I didn't notice that. But since I've been on YouTube and been like watching the videos and watching, especially I think, and I not to just mention her name again, but since I've watched the Kendra G show and I watch how she navigates her interviews with Black women and then Black men, I really have noticed that Black women are really told to have no standards whatsoever. The bar needs to be set at 0. It needs to be set as long as he has Black skin. He can literally, and as I watched that one video, and I was talking to, I was talking to you or Ella about it, where the guy was in a halfway house, and he was in a halfway house where he had just got out of prison for attempted murder, and Kendra G didn't have a problem with him. Like, it was just like, okay, this is acceptable. You're still in the running for whatever Black woman you want.
Dudes will call from jail and she'll have that same energy with them. Dudes will be in jail and she'll have that same energy for him.
No, he has 3 kids.
Because she's a Black male worshiper with her great value Walmart Section 8 dating show.
Yeah,
This is flavor of love. And I'm telling you, it's not even about Walmart. It's about this is flavor of love.
Well, this guy, when you said, do you have any kids? He said 3 that I know of. And none of these were red flags that says I shouldn't be setting any Black woman up with this man. Any woman at all, but definitely not Black women.
You know, it is funny though too, because she will tell women, you need to go get yourself some therapy. You need to go get counseling. You need to go and work on yourself. You shouldn't be dating right now. This is not the time for you. You need to go get some help. She will literally tell women that all the time. I've seen her do it. And she was like, I'm not going to put you out there. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen her tell a dude, no, you need to not be out here. You need to go get yourself a job. You need to go get an education. You need to go learn some etiquette. I've never seen her do that.
And that's the perfect time to tell someone, if you're in a halfway house, that means you have 1 foot still in prison. And like
dangerous.
One out for attempted murder. And then you have 3 children that you know of by 3 different women. 1 that you got pregnant while you were in prison. And none of these were the qualifiers to her. It was just like, oh baby, I really have a lot of hope for you. I have no hope for you, dude. You're gonna be back in prison within the next 2 days.
Because largely Black women are afraid to tell Black men about themselves and their behavior and how they need to do better. And we know that they're not used to that because look at how they react to me telling them that
That's
they're
what I
the
was gonna
message
say.
that they are. I mean, they
They will get
are.
hostile and it's dangerous. That's the reality.
Exactly, literally dangerous. Literally dangerous.
I
And
would
that's
say,
because like
find yourself- I would have told him to go find yourself a woman of no color. Stay away from Black women. They already have enough problems to do.
That's my message too.
They don't need you. They don't need you. Go to Walmart.
We've been through
Go
it.
to Walmart and cruise the Coca-Cola aisle and the Diet Coke aisle, and you'll find you a nice woman there.
But I think that Black women on social media are getting more comfortable calling them out. Because I know when I first came to YouTube, Black women were afraid to say anything to Black men because Black men were running amok and just straight terrorizing. Like when I tell y'all they were terrorizing Black
Oh, I
women on YouTube. And then it's like, here I come on there telling them they dusty trash bags and they're bandits and they expendable. And now basically nearly everybody is doing it now, which I think is a good thing because we
you
need to
gave
shift
them
the-
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for me. It seems really like dangerous at this point, and it's shining. They're shining a light on themselves, and like the sad thing for me is I feel like it makes it it reflects on, like, I know Cynthia's gonna disagree with this, but I feel like it when they're doing this poorly and disgusting, it does some of their dust flies on Black women.
Oh yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. Absolutely, it reflects poorly on Black women. Who's birthing them? Like there was a woman of no color in a video literally going in on Black women, talking about how Black women are evil because they're giving birth to these bandits. So more and more people, because some people already drop subtle hints. Well, but the thing is, some people drop subtle hints. Like there was another man, Destiny, and he kept saying in the video, the only thing that Black women are responsible for is continuing to have children with these males. And so more and more people are like, there's no way Black women can escape the dust that's flying off their sons.
Yeah, I was actually listening to Destiny having an interview with some of these passport bros, and like it's just disgusting because I don't even know why they even have discords with men of no color, because they're never going to be on the same page as them. Like they're not going to agree.
Yeah, but that's what they want. They want to try and go convince other groups of men because they've already thoroughly convinced Black women of their dusty mentality. Like Black men have created this hostile climate and devalue women who have children. So now you have Black women running around and devaluing women who have children, even when they themselves have been left to raise the child on their own by a Black man. They'll still internalize it and say, oh, the women are the problem and you have lower value if you have a child. That is because Black men have been saying that. Like even China, Black China, she did an interview and her interview clip was going viral because she was talking about why aren't the Kardashians called baby mamas, but Black women are? And Black China said, because they stick together. Now, if you looked in the comment section, a lot of Black women were confused about that. And I came on and told them because I was like, what she means by they stick together is they're not running around calling each other baby mamas because of a condition that a man put them in. They don't shame each other, but Black women run with everything that Black men say, much like now how Black women call each other bitches, hoes, and thoughts because that's what Black men call them. So this is just a product of Black women following the dusty pathology of Black men to their detriment. But now the Black men have been successful in convincing Black women that they are responsible for the demise of the community. Now they want to go convince other men. And it's like, hey, other men ain't gonna agree with you though. Yeah. And even if they did agree with you, they wouldn't do it publicly because they have a patriarchy to uphold.
Exactly. And also their culture values having children. So just like I was saying, wasn't Chelsea lately? I was talking to one of the girls about, she just did this skit recently about being parent free. I mean, not parent free, but child free. So, and which was kind of hilarious. But she did that skit, and like everybody in the white community, the men up in arms about how she's a terrible person because she doesn't have kids and she doesn't want to have kids, how immoral she is, and it's because their perspective culturally isn't to be for a woman to not have kids, right? So it's not looked at the same as Black men who, like, if you have a kid, and I'm saying the Black community,
If her value is in her
Yeah,
ability to nurturing and be a mother and be mother and take care of a child and produce children, healthy children.
right. So if a white woman has a child and she's a single mom, the community isn't looking at her like, wow, something's wrong with her for having a child. It's looked at as what's wrong with the guy who abandoned his child. Like, and let's support this woman more. Because we know how difficult it is. Let's rally around her and give her support. The school gives her more support. The community looks at her like she's a hero for struggling, doing it on her own. And she's commended in her society. She's not looked down on. And that's a cultural difference, I would say. Black men don't view children as anything but a problem for the most part. It's like a burden because now they have to take care of something.
Right, exactly. Because I was exactly about to say that. They look at it as a burden. And this is why they also devalue marriage, because they look at marriage as a responsibility to somebody. They have to be responsible to a woman or a family. And these bandits are just not used to responsibility because, let's be honest, in our culture, do Black men have to be responsible for anything, or do they have Black women running around coddling them and sheltering them from everything?
Well, and the thing is, and then if they're not responsible out here, they get to go to jail where they don't have to be responsible in there.
They get to go to jail.
I mean,
never heard anybody say they get to go to jail.
But then also white men can't sit up and complain about oppression if they fail. And I think this is probably why their suicide rate is so high, because failure for white men in a white community is generally not accepted. You don't get to run around and be a bandit and then blame the system.
So true.
In the Black community, they just get to blame it on the system or welfare, or Black women didn't make them wear a condom, or some green Martians came down and forced them, or somebody took them out the home. But it's never their fault.
Whatsoever.
It's never their fault. Everybody else has a standard to live up to, particularly white men. They have to live, at the bare minimum, they have to stand up to their reputation now that they have global dominance. You can't be the men who have global dominance and then whining, crying, and complaining when you don't have money. And I think this is why they off themselves or they go get on drugs. Black men don't have that to worry about, because they can just run to, Black men can just run to any garden variety. Even a woman of no color will coddle him because there's no expectation there. Basically, society looks at Black men as failures, and they kind of, the way that they treat them is conducive to them continuing to be failures. Like, everybody is showing that, okay, well, this is a Black man, so we got to go above and beyond. He's special needs.
I'm laughing, but it's so true, and it's disgusting and sad at the same time. It's so true.
Sin, have you watched All the Queen's Men?
Well, can I
I'm asking her a question. Cynthia, have you watched All the Queen's Men?
No, Mom's been telling me to, but I haven't yet.
Oh my gosh,
Valerie.
Can
we interject?
I
want to say something on what you guys were saying about that, because I mean, I've seen both parts of those. Being an early childhood educator, I've seen very young children and how they're treated when they're very young, like in preschool. So I've seen how they're attacked at a very young age. There is this system of
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But when they,
let me say it really quick.
Just a sidebar. When they compare, but when they compare the treatment of Black girls to white girls,
and it is the treatment of Black girls and Black boys. But because you know, I have a son. I mean, he's not black, but he's biracial. But I've seen other black boys and black girls, but I've noticed a lot of targeting of very young black boys. That isn't to give them an excuse, because I give that as us as parents need to be more consciously aware of what's going on in schools with our children. But I do see a lot of targeting towards that.
Yeah, it's buck breaking.
Yeah, but no, it's the
pay more
same
attention to
thing.
that.
But
That
it's
is
the
not
same
giving.
thing with black girls. I know,
It
but
is.
it's the same thing with black girls.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you look
But
at,
we went
if
through
you
it
look
all
at
too.
how like they get written up and put in detention more than white girls. They get like deemed more than white girls.
And
So,
I'm not
so
disagreeing with
literally
you
the same
because
thing.
we went through school, so I'm not disagreeing with you. Black girls are attacked too. I said I have a son, but when I was in teaching, I saw a lot of it. But they were treating black girls horribly too. But they were very. I saw a lot of very.
Somebody said targeting how, so I'll address that because I go through it with my son.
I saw very targeted behavior.
And targeted behavior.
I think the roosters want to give their
Somebody's
input.
asking for examples of targeting.
B, I think B and Emma. I think the roosters want to chime in. I think the roosters want to give their input.
Sitting them in the back of the classroom, but handling them roughly, yelling at them, they were snatching them around,
policing how they talk, their voice levels, if they're playing. It's like they're not allowed to move about the same way.
with my son, it was extreme policing, extreme. I mean, Cindy, you know how they treated
right, but here's the thing. What happened? We went up there and we checked Mrs. Becky in the classroom and it stopped. That's the thing.
Pulled them out of her classroom.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, she would have been on guard anyway, because even if he would have stayed in the class, she wouldn't have acted the same way, because we had already shown that, look, we will come up here and we have no problem. In fact, we will happily check you. So she would have stopped doing it anyway.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, as parents, you do have to be very, very aware and active in your children's life. But that's another thing. If the father isn't there and the father's not helping, and the father just abandons their children, especially when you have sons, even daughters, because your daughters need their dads too, and they're just like this dude with the 7 kids. You're going around having 7 kids and then saying, I don't want to have anything to do with them. You just picked up 7 kids' lives.
And the impact on society as well, because those kids are going to have relationships, and every point in their relationships are going to be affected as well negatively. So it's not just the 7 kids' lives, it's the community.
But I'm just saying, like, that's just the first step. You screwed up these kids' lives and you don't care because you didn't want to wear a condom. Like, you're not a child. These are supposed to be grown men with their frontal lobe is developed and they have the cognitive awareness of foresight, but they're just saying, like, I didn't want to wear a condom and that woman didn't make me, so I made a child that now has an entire existence, an entire life that they have to live, and they're going to suffer because they don't have a dad. They're not going to know their dad. They're never going to have a dad. Like, kids are aware when they don't have a dad. They know when they go to school and they see their classmates from preschool picking up their kids, hugging their dads, talking about their dads, that they don't have a dad. They know that. So
right.
Willing to inflict that on a child because you didn't want to wear a condom.
Yeah, the thing is, never even think about it. They never even think about how they're affecting anyone other than themselves. They only think about that they're.
Well, no, the Bandit said he didn't care.
Not have a condom on.
He said on there he doesn't care, but so it's like, because that Bandit boldly went up there and said he doesn't care, and then there was this I'll be dying laughing because Themis calls this chick Just Oyster. And I was like, you really not Just Oyster. But anyway, the thing is, she asked him in an interview, she asked this man, does he think that when it comes to fathers not being in the home, do he think most of the men are like him who just abandon their children, or that most of the men are just not being able to see their kids by the mother? And the thing about this Bandit is, at least he was honest. He said most of the men are like him.
Yeah, they don't
They
care.
don't want to. Yeah, they don't care.
And to further that, the interesting thing is they will talk about how difficult it was for them to be raised without a mom. They will talk, a father, they will talk about the struggles they went through society, and they'll still perpetuate that same behavior and inflict it on child after child after child. So it is.
Oh yeah, he said he came from a 2-parent home where both of his parents were married. So even though that was modeled to him, and this is why I'm saying, at what point do Black women wake up and say, well, birthing these bandits is counterproductive? Because if this is a man who has seen demonstrated in his household the benefits of having a father and a mother there, and he still went out and purposely created children and then neglected them of an experience that he had and benefited from, what will be the solution then? Because he grew up in a 2-parent home. He saw his mother and father working together. His father raised them. He still didn't take those values. And he said something that I've been saying. An adult is going to do whatever they want to do. He said his parents does not like, nor do they agree with anything that he's doing. But then he said, my parents can't control me. And he shouldn't have to come out and say that. But when you have a narrative going around of who raised them and, oh, the mother raised them. No, this is a grown man who's consciously aware of what he's doing. He had different modeled to him in the home. He doesn't care because he's doing what he wants to do. He also said, don't talk to him about morals and what's right or wrong, because his morals are different than yours. And this is what I keep trying to get them to understand. Bandits do not have the same moral compass that you do. So you may think that being married and living in a 2-parent home is supposed to do something, but to them, they don't care. And I just wish Black women would understand who they're birthing, and that they're not going to, a parent can try to instill whatever value she wants in her child. When they become adults, they're going to get their own values and they're going to act on them. Nobody can sit here and parent an adult and sit up here and control what a fully grown struggle bandit is consciously and purposely doing. He's doing it because there's no consequences. And it's really just that simple.
And I really wish that Black women would stop saying, oh, you were a single mother, you should have had your kid in wedlock, you should have been married. Because being married, I was married, Ella was married, like we've been married.
It's like, honestly.
Onyx has been married. It does not stop you from being single.
I said ma, meaning
yeah, I'm sorry.
But she still has been married, so
no.
Yeah. And we've all, like, it doesn't stop you from being a single parent. It doesn't. And being a single mother does not give the father of the child a pass for not taking care of the kid. Just like it doesn't. I'm a single mother, but I have to take care of my kid. Him being a single dad doesn't stop him from taking care of his kid. A lot of parents, like all the guys that I know, take care of their kid. A guy can get his apartment 2 blocks down the street and have his kid 50% of the time. Like, there's many ways of being in your kid's life. You don't need to be married to the mother. These guys are trying to feel like if they don't have sexual access to you, then they don't need to take care of their kid. And that's not, no. You need to take care of your child. Like,
right. Or if they can't control the mother, then they won't be around their children either. And I really think that needs to be more of a discussion, because you have people with this narrative, and of course, because it's to the man's benefit, saying that the woman uses a child against a man. A woman can only use a child against a man if the man cares about said child. That's not the norm in our community. How do you use a kid against a man that he don't even care about? Now, what you do have, though, is men using their children against the mothers of their children, using them as leverage for control of her behavior, and basically saying, well, if I don't still have access to you, then basically who cares about them kids?
Well, and I just watched
Because
this.
you were raised by yourself.
This guy, well, because there's this, these guys are being so dishonest about the court system and getting custody of their kids. They're being so dishonest. And I was watching one with this guy who went on Destiny's channel, and they kept trying to stick to Georgia's law, the state of Georgia, saying, oh, it's just so hard for guys to get custody of their children. First, you're talking about one state, and second, no, it's not.
Well, you don't even need custody of your child to take care of your child. Where do you need custody to take care of your child?
Well,
Correct.
But B, they're lying. But B, they're lying because we have a cousin in Atlanta, and the laws are the same. Where if the father is on the birth certificate, then he has equal rights after the mother, and that's how most of the states are. So he was lying.
These guys are lying. You don't. They're acting like, oh well, we don't have the money. It doesn't cost that much money to fill out parenting plan. It's maybe like $20 or $30. Like, what are you talking about? It's not.
And if you can't afford it, and
don't mean you
of
can't.
course, we'll waive the fee. So you can just, if you can't afford it, all you have to do is fill out a waiver, and they'll waive the fee.
But a court shouldn't need to mandate you to take.
Well, they're saying that the women are keeping them from.
I know,
their
but look, you can sing your child some clothes. A woman can be like, "Oh, I ain't putting no clothes on my kids."
No, but they need to be in their kids' lives. You need to spend time with your kids.
Like you're saying, there are ways of doing that as well through course. But most of these guys who even say that they need, there's no custody and that's why they don't see their child, they're also not financially caring for their child either. They're also not putting in. They can say, "Well, let me." I'm just saying that there are other things that you can be doing to take care of your child. And these same guys who say that the woman is preventing them from seeing the child, that's why I'm not paying child support, or that's not why I'm doing this or that for their child. They're not doing anything for their child. And they're not doing it for the same reason that Cynthia just stated, is because their main concern is having access to the woman and having access to controlling her dynamic. And if he can't do that, he won't be in the child's life at all. And those are the guys that
saying, in case
the majority.
In case they're first they can see their child without paying child support, because those are two different courts. When you go in and file a parenting plan, a guy can walk in court and file a parenting plan. If they don't have the money, there's a fee waiver. This is in any family court. So they can't say it's money. No, you can get a fee waiver. There's no gender specific. So when they say, oh, there's all this stuff for single mothers, but there's not for single fathers, that's a lie. There's no gender specific programs out there. So food stamps, TANF, there's no gender specific. Whether you're a single father or a single mother, it goes for everybody.
And the courts are biased in favor of men, because most of the time when men contest custody orders, they win over the woman. So it's like there's no reason for them to not have their kids unless they don't want them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're out here lying and gaslighting and just doing it the most. And it's looking really, really bad. And that the outcome is going to be really, really bad. And some of their dust is just going to fly on us. And that's the thing.
Flies on us because at this point, because of they're advertising it so strongly and so worldwide, it's like people are going to say, like, how did you end up in a situation like that? You should have known better, because it's like everybody at this point globally knows what this guy represents. So how did you not know? So there's not going to be really any sympathy. Not that they're not
right. And furthermore, why are you still giving birth to them when they're expendable enough?
Okay, this is like a global pandemic at this stage. You can't pretend like you didn't know. And that's, it's like, and if you are engaging with this kind of deplorable behavior with this person, then like,
actually, Onyx, that's how a lot of different men in different communities are treating their women. Because I was watching a TikTok video and there was a Mexican woman on there. She was speaking in Spanish or whatever, but I still understood what she was saying. She was still, even though you don't know the language, you still know she's saying she got the same black man, therefore she. But let me tell you, them Mexican men were in the comment sections like, well, these guys are kind of known for this. So what did you think? And they were like, what did you think was going to happen? This is what they're known for. So it is out there to where not just Black women, but other races of women at this point, it's like, okay, well, what is your excuse? Because this is so prevalent among this one group of men. It is what they're known for. So why would you think that that's not going to be your outcome?
That's so funny.
It's embarrassing at this point. It is. And it's like not even worth the risk. So that's where I am.
Well, because you can't turn on the TV or the internet without, definitely not go on the internet without seeing a new video of them making a fool of themselves.
But if you observe them in the community as well, it's from what I've seen, it's the same. And it sadly is becoming very, you're seeing the younger generation, like the youth, are being influenced in that way heavily as well. And so you see that, you know, it's a messy situation. It's like, this is getting real bad. And like, you do have so many younger Black children without parents, without fathers. And I say without parents because when you have a child without with a single mom, she's usually working. She's usually doing all of the providing and sometimes trying to better herself as well through schooling. So the child really doesn't have parents. They have schooling, and then they just have time to do whatever they want to, whether it's being unmonitored on social media and they're being influenced by the culture there. And then they go out in the community and wreak havoc because they really just don't have any moral guidance at all outside of the deplorable cultural norms of the unfortunate demise of Black community. That's just
well, and that's what they don't get, that this is a cultural dynamic, because I hear a lot of Black women, you know, because they internalize, look, Black men can say that Black women don't submit to them, but they definitely submit to the dusty mindset that Black men have, because you know, you'll have a bunch of Black women just sitting there saying, well, we can just raise them better. Well, maybe if we just raise them better. This is a cultural dynamic. So it's not, at this point, it's really not about how you're raising them. And that struggle bandit with the 7 kids prove that. It's really not how you're raising them. It's about the culture. The culture tells them that it is okay for them to leave their children because the only blame is going to go on the mother who stayed to raise them. So when you cultural dynamic, you gotta do something drastic to shift the culture. And that's why it's up as Black women, it's like, okay, well, you're the one who has the power to determine whether these bandits even exist or not. And interestingly, they're telling Black women that even in that video, that bandit was, as crass and disgusting as he was true, because he said, look, I don't have to carry this kid for 9 months. I can just up and leave. You got to carry the kid. You the one you determine whether you give birth to it or not. And they've been saying that. They've been telling you, Black women, you're to blame because you're the one giving birth to them. They've been saying that. Y'all giving birth.
The stress on your body, it just ain't working.
And the reason why they're blaming the women is because guys have the ability to change the culture, but we clearly they're not going to change the culture, or they would have done it. And so
no, men start cultures, women pass culture on. So this is the culture that Black women are passing on. They're choosing to pass this culture on.
Change the culture, so they're clearly not going to change the culture, so the women would have to not produce the thing that's keeping the culture alive, which is
right. And I was telling this chick in the chat box, and she was like, oh well, maybe just stop having sex with them. It's like, okay, well then you would just have to stop having sex with Black men, period, all of them. You would just have to write all of them off, because how does one make a smart decision and an accurate decision on who to lay down with if these men are not, if these men are lying? That bandit said himself, after he impregnates them, he actually said, the man asked him, are you telling these women this before sex? And he said, no, why would I do that? Nobody's going to do that because that would ruin the mood. So he already knows what the response will be if he was upfront and honest. He knows what the response will be. He's waiting until after he impregnates them to then say, okay, well, now I'm going to leave you a single mother because you shouldn't have gave birth to this kid that I didn't want. But what if he was telling them before he got into bed, look, if you get pregnant, I ain't gonna take care of that kid. The woman is either gonna walk out if she's smart, or at the very least, she's gonna make him wear a condom so he's not impregnating her. But
Right.
that ain't happening. So if these bandits are out here lying, because it goes down to the betting argument, which I think is stupid, because you can't bet anybody,
Right.
especially when you're betting is dependent on whether they choose to tell the truth or lie. But it just
Honestly.
goes down to that betting. If the only way you can bet a person is if they are willing to tell the truth, which most men are not, especially when they just want to get sex. No, they'll tell you whatever it's like 50 Cent said, I'll tell a hoe whatever she want to hear. So, seriously, whatever you want to hear, he's gonna tell you if it's gonna get him what he wants. We shouldn't have to say that. That should be obvious. That's humans. Humans do that. Like humans do that in general, but they think that, oh, just don't have sex with them and oh, do that, this, that, and the third. A lot of these men will sell you a dream. They'll tell you they want the baby. They'll tell you they're going to marry you. They'll tell you they're going to be a good dad. And then when you get pregnant, they're going to switch up. Then what do? You
Yeah,
left
someone
there to make a decision. Do I want to birth this baby now or not?
Yeah, and someone that's honest isn't gonna abandon their children. So he can say on one hand that he's an honest person and I'm out here telling all of these women the truth and being, this honest, upstanding guy. But then on the other hand, saying I'm abandoning all of these children. Like, you're not an honest, good guy, but abandoning children.
Isn't it scandalous how guys can abandon children, but women can't? It's like the police will be all on a woman if she decided, oh, I'm just leaving. I'm leaving the house today. The kids, yours, you're dealing with them. But women the laws will change so rapidly if women were the ones abandoning children, but dudes can just do that and be like, oh, consequence free. I ain't feeling this, so I'm not parenting.
Yeah, but again, that's a cultural dynamic. And the only way that cultural dynamic can thrive is if the women acquiesce to it. So as much as Black women complain about this cultural dynamic, they agree with it. And the reason we know they agree with it is because they continue to perpetuate it and pass it on. Gone should be the days where you teaching your daughter to be a ride or die. Teach your daughter to selectively mate. Teach her the mentality of a bandit that she needs to be avoiding. Teach her that if a bandit don't show her a kingdom, he ain't no king. I don't care how many times.
Teach the guy that too, though. Teach the boy that too. I think both of them should be knowing that. It's like, that's embarrassing. You're walking around talking about you a king, no crown, no respect in the community whatsoever. You're
Right.
going to jail. And you're a king. Like, how are you a king?
Right. Their whole entire existence resembles a peasant and only a peasant. But Black women keep calling them kings. Where? No kingdom inside. And then a bandit tried to
their kingdom, and it's like,
but the thing is, a bandit tried to sit on a panel and convince people that a king can be subjugated with no power, no societal influence, and no kingdom. I was just like, I'm in the Twilight Zone.
Turn my video back.
But that is a big one, not even having respect from the community.
You don't have your freedom. You go outside and you'll get totally murked. Like, honestly, that's not a king.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, and that is my thing. One of the things that is just, it continues to bother me.
Turn my video back on.
I didn't turn your video off, honey.
Sorry, I did, because you're all over the place. Okay.
That is like one of the biggest things that continues to bother me. Like, I keep seeing all these videos about them wanting to go to different countries and do this sex tourism and talking about like how, Black women aren't submissive and all this stuff. And I'm just thinking, okay, there's that 13-year-old boy that got, his life taken away by being, pop out in the back, and nothing was done. Like,
there's only 3 participants. I don't see you on here, Ella.
Yeah, they don't care about that. No, it looks like Ella might have dropped off. They don't.
Yeah,
they,
so it's
they,
like,
they don't care who gets pow banged in the. They don't care about
that. Dude of no color, and he did, like, the kid was just walking down the street. And they arrested the dude and then just let him back out. He said he feared for his life. This kid was just walking, like literally just walking down the sidewalk. And it's like, so you have all this time to make videos about going across to countries to, take advantage of
poverty-stricken communities.
And you want respect from Black women, and you want women to be submissive to you, and you want to be a king, but you can't even protect the children in your community. You don't even care to. You don't even want to. It's not even something you care to talk about. Like you can't be a king.
The only kings they can be is trash bag kings. That's it. Burger kings. Okay. It's like for real.
Burger King will do better than that. That's not king. That does not make a king. Kings protect their community. They have to protect their people in it. You have to have.
They gotta have something. They gotta have something. You know, they usually have some wealth. Like they usually have a pot to piss in.
But the thing is, a king protects their community. They supply stuff for their people. Like, you will go to your king for stuff, no one will go to Biden for anything, no one. And I'm not saying that like just to be mean, but you just wouldn't. Everybody goes to the women.
I mean, they go into them for the D, but that's it. That's the truth. That's where they go. That's what's happening. That's all I'm saying. That is what's happening.
And you see where that's getting them.
Yeah, but again, this is a growing problem, and it's not changing because look, the reality is women do hold the power in this regard. We do say whether they exist, we do say whether they can multiply their children. We have the power in this regard, and we are just saying, you know, do as you can. So
I will make different choices.
We have the power to change this. So that's what I would say.
Because these guys, like, I'm so against having the government decide like what people do with their bodies, but like they're almost begging. They are almost begging the government to come on to come over and make decisions for them. When they're saying they can't, and they're saying Black women should have told them, they should have made them.
I mean, well, they're telling you when they say that Black women didn't make them wear a condom or do this, that, and the third, they're literally validating everything that men of no color said about them, which is one of the primary things. They need to be controlled. They need to be civilized. And they're telling you that they don't have nobody to civilize them now.
But the thing about is like the reason why this will continue, because men of no color actually found a way to benefit from this. Like prisons are private now. They need people for those prisons, and those are Black children and brown children. That's the reality. So it's not to their benefit. Like they're benefiting. Like they get some free labor, free slavery. There is a market for this dysfunction, and they found a way to where it doesn't really, we can handle it. I've been to conferences where they said, you know, I was a principal once, and I've decided
donors.
Instead of being a principal, I could be a jail warden, because these kids go end up in prison before, and they should be in prison before they leave school. And that was at a children's justice conference that I attended. And you can rest assured, when you see this demented and degenerate behavior coming from Black men, they're meeting and finding out what to do with that. How are we going to benefit, and how are we going to get rid of these this type of person? And they're benefiting from it. They just put them in prison. Let's build more jails, privatize them as well.
I was just, you know what, because I was just reading something from here. Where I live, and that's true. It's true. Because they were just talking about how the prisons are overfilled, and they're like, oh, they wanted to sign some legislation to let people out early and stuff like that, and they were like, oh no, let's just build more prisons. If the prisons are overfilled, let's just build more prisons. So they are ready, and it is sad. It's a sad thing to think about, all of these children that they're making, that they're abandoned abandoning, yeah,
They're participating in the prison, the school to prison pipeline. They're
yeah,
participating.
I was just reading. I'm sorry, I was reading a message. But yeah, to think of all these children, that is something that you have to think about if you choose to have a child with one of these men. Especially that one like the one with the 7 kids, or the guy that just got out of prison and he's, you know, living in a halfway house, with three children and with 3 baby moms and looking for his 4th. Where are these kids going to end up? I mean, the chances aren't bright for them. They don't really have a bright future. And then they're saying, well, just give them up for adoption. I don't want them to just give them up for adoption.
Do y'all wonder what happened to Becky though? Because remember how every time, like, remember, let's fast forward 20 years in the past, like around the time the YouTube just
Yes,
got
I
started.
heard that.
Didn't I remember they were saying the same thing about women of no color that they're saying about these foreign women? Oh, we got to go to women of no color. They're more submissive, or it's just something silly like they'll suck dick or whatever. Anybody would do that, but still. The same thing, the stuff that they're saying about their need to go overseas, is we need to have a discussion on what happened to Becky. Like, for real.
Yeah, we really do. We really do. Because
I
it
want to get down to the bottom of what happened to Becky.
It was huge when we were in high school. It was like, remember, because I remember being in high school and they were like, oh, Black women are too not stuck up, but too what was the word they were using, where they weren't like loose enough, and women of no color.
Yeah, Black women were too uptight.
We're too prudish.
Yeah, too prudish. Yeah, Ella, remember they were saying prudes, too uptight. Women of no color are friendlier.
I was not there. Like, yep, I sure am. My mom didn't raise me with no mouth.
Yeah, they'll do anything. They're way more frisky.
And I was like, let them do it then. Let them do it.
There's nothing that they won't do, and that's why they need to go over there.
It does stand to be true for me, because I'm very
That's what they got to do.
you got to qualify. So that's definitely remains.
That's why they always got the little things on their mouth.
But they shouldn't be able to just go and say, oh, we're going to go to another country. No, you need to be accountable for Becky. What happened to Becky? I'm doing a live stream. I want to know.
How about Becky became not good enough? Like, what happened?
Yeah, like what happened to Becky being the preference? What happened to all them talk shows you was on and those videos you was making, even sitting next to? And I'm gonna find some of those. I'm gonna find some of those too, because I want to know what happened. Well, why did like out
like she ain't good enough.
It was Jenny Jones and Ricky Lake and what was those other old, because they were all on those talk shows. I totally remember.
Montel Williams with his bald and beautiful self back then.
But they were on Jenny Jones a lot. I remember, and they're talking about how more freer they were, and just like they were freakier, and then because they weren't even into the submissive. They weren't even talking about them being submissive.
No, they were just talking about how they'll let them get their booty. How they
were
saying they
were much more friendly.
They were describing what they think is submission, but they weren't really using submission as a term. They're obsessed with it now. Like they can't spell it, but they definitely will say it. But remember, they were saying, "Oh, she doesn't nag him. She allows them to come in at any time at night. She don't have no expectations of them. She's not loud and aggressive." So they were describing what they feel like is submission. Now they're just obsessed with the word now, but they were saying the same thing about Becky. And now you think you get to have a passport bro movement and you don't have to explain what happened to Becky? Oh no, you about to explain what happened to Becky. And I'm gonna do the live stream, and I bet you other people will do it too. And I hope they do too. I hope they do it too, because I want to know what happened to Becky.
Malay, show me Becky, huh?
And now I know what happened to her.
Becky cheating on him with his cousin. Becky cheating on him with his cousin and calling his babies a nigger. I mean the N word.
Live stream unless you're a person of no color.
Right.
You don't get it turned off.
That's why I said I mean the N word.
I mean, we can do it at the sister talk if y'all want to on my channel, but I'm definitely somebody needs to give me an explanation. One of these bandits needs to call up and give me an explanation as to what happened to Becky, because this majority of the women in this country are white. Why do you need to go to a third world country? You said that that's all you needed. That was your upgrade. Yeah, they were gonna build a better.
They were rooting for Becky to replace the Black Queen and be like.
They were saying Becky was the new
that wild card and
yeah.
everything. Say, I'm cleaning up this whole dysfunctional family dynamic that the Black woman has with Black men. I'm changing that because I am the better option.
And they were, and women of no color were sitting right there in different videos with him, talking about how she's the better woman.
And then Becky ran through his family.
Mine was full of.
No, then Becky realized she was just getting the same Black man.
Exactly.
With the too. So.
She was,
but I'm still doing the live stream on it though. I'm still doing the live stream. What happened to this whole snow bunny craze where there was even an old, I think Ricky Lake or Jenny Jones show, there was a overweight woman of no color talking about she's every Black man's fantasy. I want to know what happened to that.
Then she gave him her herbs. Now they're running around trying to spread it to the other people in other countries.
I can't believe you just said that. Their mixed race children grew up.
Yep, and somebody in the chat made a point too. Remember, Trick Daddy was even up there saying Becky know how to fry chicken. She don't know how to season it, but she know how to fry it.
Race children grew up and told them what they think about them.
Yeah, they need to quit playing games.
He found out 2 of those kids weren't his; it was his cousins and his best friends.
Well, but people are letting them escape that, because I'm hearing people talk about the passport bandits, and that's cool, that's fine and dandy and all. And I've been saying it in some of my pre-records, but I think I need to go live and do like a whole panel on what happened to Becky, because it's one thing to focus on these passport bandits and them going to these other foreign women and talking about how submissive, feminine, fit, and friendly. Y'all were saying the same thing about Becky. What happened?
Yeah, I was watching this video of this.
They turned friendly Becky into a bitter, into a bitter. I don't have another name.
A bitter Betty.
The bitter Betty.
No, bitter Betty. They're gonna be complaining about those, and they're gonna be needing to get a new species. They were trying to find somebody on the moon. Because that was just one thing with this show that I was watching today. And he's in there complaining about, he looked like biracial, but he's saying that both his parents are Black, whatever, allegedly they're Black. But he was in there complaining, oh, Black women just don't want me in this country. They just don't appreciate me. He's one of those too nice of a guys. That's just too nice that the Black women here don't want him. But he's so nice that he married one of his women from another country. So he went to another country, married a woman, was married to her for 10 years, and she divorced him. So he's just that nice.
Right.
That he's back online crying because the American black women don't want him. But it's like, I'm confused. You're
Then if he was so nice, why didn't the foreigner want him?
right.
Then she was like, "Nah, I'm done with you, Brad." That's
Your
all I can take.
niceness is just
Your
overwhelming.
niceness is over. Yeah, it's too much. Too much niceness. It's time for somebody else to enjoy, bask in the niceness that you have to offer.
And you know,
It's just not fair for me to keep you all to myself.
These guys that proclaim that they're nice,
They're
like,
self-proclaimed though. Self-proclaimed.
yeah,
nice guys.
they're always self-proclaimed nice guys, but it's like they can never get any women to come up and say that they're nice.
Right?
The women always find that they're not nice,
Not so nice. Yeah.
but they're proclaiming that all these women just find them just too nice. They're just way too nice. Like, I'm pretty sure that that's not your problem.
And I wouldn't even qualify that. Like what makes, describe what that looks like.
Yeah, they don't. And like the dude was just like so arrogant and cutting Themis off and yelling and just short-tempered. So I wasn't getting niceness. This didn't seem like a guy that I would go out with. Themis was like, he wasn't feeling niceness either, but this guy just really, he's like, oh, he's nice. It's like,
Thanks for sharing.
no, it's just like the way that
Oh, you're talking about the one that he did earlier today?
yeah, you saw that one?
Yeah, because I was in the chat and people were asking me to review it. But yeah, he was a typical bandit, the typical bandit that say they're the nice guy and women overlook them, and you then realize they show that they're trash. They're a bandit. They're just a bandit who don't really have a lot of options, as opposed to a bandit who have a lot of options.
Right.
And clearly a psychotic bandit, because psychotic and very unself-aware. It's like, why don't you?
Self-awareness whatsoever.
Right.
And I couldn't, like, I wasn't getting like, how are you sitting here talking about?
You're probably getting narcissist from him.
Right. That's what I was getting, more narcissism.
Maybe a little bit of sociopath.
than niceness.
Yeah. But not
Because
niceness.
Yeah, and it's like you're talking about the American women, black women, because he only likes black women. But American black women just have these attitudes, and our expectations are just not.
We just expect you to be a decent
we
human
want the
being.
bad
And it's
guy.
just,
No, but it's still, they keep pushing this narrative that Black American women want these bad guys.
no, sorry,
What are you talking about?
that's not it. That's not it.
And he's
Not
just,
anymore.
and he's just such a good guy. So he just can't get any.
Yeah, no, we like masculinity, and it doesn't need to be a bad boy. No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
No.
it's like having a masculine energy. It's not
Exactly.
bad.
They mistake masculinity for aggression, and that's
Right.
the things.
Assertive does not necessarily mean aggressive.
Not at all. And it's like, you can't say, like, for them, masculinity, and I don't know where they're getting this from. For a black guy, he needs to have his pants bagging and
Ugh,
like that. That's not masculine.
no, it's childish.
It's like, that's prison. I'm ready.
It's childish. It's just immature. Is what it is.
But that's
It's
not
19. It's given 1998. Yeah, something around there.
That's how I've listened when I listened to these.
Amazing.
Yeah, but and then when you know what the origins of sagging comes from, that's not masculine whatsoever.
Well, no, it's like really nasty to me. I can't get in my mind how anybody can even do it. Like, what would make you? And I try to really think about this because I see it a lot, even with teenagers. It's like, so what would make you walk down, like, get dressed, pull your pants up, and then it's saying, no, I'm gonna bring them down lower, and then even lower.
I just need my booty
Okay,
to
and
be
now
out,
they're
just my
halfway down.
booty.
That's about right. My butt's, and it's like, that's just so, and it's unpractical too, because it's like, now you gotta, if you walk, you gotta walk weird. If you speed up a bit, your pants go down all the way. It's just doesn't make no. It's illogical. And it's like, it's like you're demented. Like something's wrong with you neurologically if you need to do that. Like I can imagine, like one day try and do it. Just try inside your pants one day and try it. And then like mentally your mind's gonna be like, what the hell is going on here? Like a toddler. I like to learn, get myself to do it. Like, okay, I pull my pants up and now I'm bringing them down.
But I've heard numerous guys. That's how they characterize this manly guy, like, and I'm like, no, like that doesn't. That's not a man. That's not a like for me. You're not angry. You walk
Confident.
with confidence. You open the door for women. You pull out their chairs.
Chivalrous.
You pull out your wallet when the bill comes every time. There's no discussion about any 50-50.
If there's something going on in the community, like if there's like a fight going on or something, you're observing and you're looking at the best way to intervene and keep
protector
safe. And
walking, you try to make sure I'm on the inside, so I'm safe.
Protector.
Yeah, you're watching out. If a baller comes, you're gonna make sure you grab and make sure you're watching to make sure I'm safe at all times. Like those are things. You should.
Those are things that make a woman want to submit to you.
Yeah, you should be dressed clean and neat. Like, well, your pants should never be back. Why are your pants back? No, you're a grown ass man.
And no aspiration though. It's like
It's like, did your mommy not teach you how to pull up your pants all the way?
Yeah, like you own a home, you're a business, you're a boss. These are things. If you have a child, if you do have a child, you are spending time with your child. Your child is a priority. You have like at least 50-50 custody. You need to be. If you are not doing that, then you're not a man. If you're a man and you're like, oh yeah, I have a child, but I don't know where my child is. I don't see my child. Oh, my baby mama, she ain't letting me see my child. You're not a man to me. I don't want to have any.
Me neither.
Because to me, you're garbage. You have a child, but you don't know where your child is.
To me, if a man can't do everything that needs to be done to make sure his life is exactly the way it should be, then he's not a man. And if he says he has a child, but he doesn't know where his child is, but he can find his child, but he's not looking, then you're not a man.
No, you're a man, but you're a problem. You're a problem to society and to your own life.
No, he's not a man. He's a roach.
You're grown, so you're a man.
He's a child baby, a man baby.
Right.
He's not a man. He doesn't qualify to be a man.
Well,
but you don't get to just say that you're a nice guy.
He's a tall baby.
America don't like you. It's like, no, let's go deeper into your actual personality and figure out why you're garbage.
And it sounds like it didn't take long for you to do.
His whole demeanor, his attitude was showing garbage. He couldn't even have a civil conversation with another man
without being hostile.
I think this is very nice. And it's like, if you can't even have a civil conversation, then you're not. That's showing that you're not nice first, because
right.
Can have a dialogue.
He doesn't have any emotional intelligence. He doesn't even know how to regulate his own emotions. It's like you're wilding out. Like, why are you getting so upset that you're having a temper tantrum on TV?
Yeah, it's like, that's not nice. Like, what's not?
It's also not grown man.
But it's
not giving adult.
Even with the passport bros, they think in their mind that they're these nice professional guys that
About
Black
to elevate.
women and Western women should want to submit to, not just want, desire, but want to actually give their selves to and give their, you know,
Livelihood.
so you're giving your autonomy over to. But why? Like you see their videos and you see who they are and how they can't communicate. They have no emotional regulation. They have their cognitive ability is really low. But to them, you should want to give your, you know, you should want to submit to them and have them lead you. But if you sat them down and asked them, what would you bring to my life? And how would this look? How would you manage our lives financially, socially, you know, economically for the next year?
Emotionally, the whole bit.
Yeah, how would that look, just say for the next year? There's no way they will be able to sit down and tell you how that would look. Because they're booking on spirit. They don't have a credit card.
Frontier.
I mean, but like you don't even have a credit card. Like you're not gonna get me very far. I'm gonna be screwed if I turn myself over to you. I'm gonna be literally screwed. If I married you, now I don't have a credit card either. Because your
Right. Because yours got taken away.
my credit score dropped. As soon as I married you, my credit score went from a 750 to whatever yours is in the middle, right? So his credit score is probably 2. Yours is a 750. Now you have a 350 credit score just for marrying. How's that looking at? That just for marrying him, you will win to a 350 credit score. Now
No,
neither have a credit card. Now you're both on spirit.
Nobody wants that.
Oh,
It's a bad idea all around.
Now you look stupid. In retrospect, don't you wish you wouldn't have done that?
I need to go.
I'm just saying, so like they can say that they're good guys and that Black women are the problem, but I just told you just right there. It's just a bad idea.
I wanted to talk about that crazy chick who took a video of her child crying after she heard her screaming during intercourse with her guy. And
Okay, we'll try to talk about that last thing and then we're gonna have to wrap up. But because I have to go. But let me see if I can pull it up. Did you send it to me?
no, actually, because it's on TikTok and I can't send you the TikTok. Do you have it on your I mean, you have to look it up on the device that you are, but all you have to do is type in the those words. Like crying because she heard mom screaming or whatever. I forgot what the mom said. I think she put OMG and then some emojis that shows that she was embarrassed, but that was the title of it.
OMG.
Well, I would put in the child crying for hearing mom scream, and that actually brings up the video. Because she got millions of views on it, so it's going to be one of the first ones that come up. But when you see the video, it's like OMG, and then she has like some embarrassed emojis. I was very disappointed with her response, but not. I wish I had the article because I read the article to you yesterday, but since I'm not on my device, I can't look it up. This lighting is so annoying. Unpredictable.
Oh, well, let's just yell at the sun.
If I can turn it down a bit,
Oh gosh, universe, could you please get some consistent?
like angle properly. It doesn't have that. Yeah, it's angling in a way that's annoying.
Okay.
I finally gave those chickens some seeds so they'll go away and quit harassing me. That's why you're not hearing them anymore. I thought that she was like looking at my toes like she wanted to try to peck at them, but I think she thought again when I looked at her because I kicked her in her head. I'm not you. She looked at me in my eyes. She
These babies, how dare you?
No, she grown. She grown. It was the bomb that was looking at my toes like she wanted some. And then I looked at her like, I will kick you in your head. She saw that look in my eyes. She turned around. She knew she didn't want no.
You scandalous.
No, she would have been, I'd have been scandalous when I kicked her over that fence. Which was going to happen if she would have picked my toe.
Okay, you have to give me a second. I have to go.
You know I'm reactive, so I'm not going to just, I don't be thinking about stuff too much if something happens, especially when it causes pain. I just respond. And if she would have picked my toe with her beak, I would have kicked her right in her face and she would have went flying over that fence. And then her little chickadees went after her. So now I'm just left on this screen by myself to talk to myself. This is great. I like the way y'all do that because I'm noticing this happens quite a bit. It's not something that happened only once in life. It happens quite often that I'm left on the screen.
Pretty though.
What's that, Onyx?
I said you look pretty, and you're in the
Shut
school.
There's two of Onyx.
So there's that.
I don't like that there was two of Onyx.
There wasn't two of Onyx?
There was.
Well, I didn't see two of Onyx. I could just see one Onyx. And that's it.
You weren't looking right. Where's my thing that says share video?
I'm so glad you're able to share it.
Sharing's like,
But maybe just share the sound because I'm sure she's gonna have problems with the fact that we're sharing it.
okay, last time I tried to just share the sound, it didn't work. So, okay, well, I'll try to share it on my phone.
On your phone?
Let me play a tiny bit and then I'll try to.
Yeah. Okay, do that. Yeah. And then just pause it. Yeah.
I thought I said share.
Oh, okay, yeah, there it is. This is the whole article. Nice.
Yeah, this is the last one because my brain is slowing down. I don't know. Why is it playing? I didn't say play.
Well, it's really not.
It was playing.
Well, I didn't see it.
You didn't see the thing moving? Or you didn't hear it? Because the
Not
sound was-
either. I couldn't hear it or see it moving. I see that chicken, her ugly veins in her leg. Looks disgusting. Ew, so gross.
What's the video called again?
Why did you just get out of it? It was right there. Like that.
I didn't put it on my phone, Ella.
Okay, but if you go back, you can see it. It says 6-year-old heard me having sex. People
Okay,
are saying traumatize her. My 6-year-old heard me. people are saying I traumatized her. But that's on mypost.com instead of on the TikTok, which I guess is fine because it is what it is. I need some water badly. I think Onyx is right. I am dehydrated. And she will sit there and drink some water in front of my face when I say I'm dehydrated. See how cold-hearted you are? She nasty. She nasty.
Okay.
Onyx, she nasty.
Why is this white thing over?
I was screaming. What's wrong? My door was closed.
All right, so I'll play the rest of the video, just the sounds, because so
Yeah,
that
do that.
I was screaming. What's wrong? Oh, our door was closed. I'm so sorry. Oh no, I'm not hurt. I'm sorry that scared you. I thought you were so asleep. Yeah, so hurt you want
That was it. So, my biggest issue is, first off, why does she think that was funny? And secondly, why would she just be like, oh, I thought you were sleeping? So her daughter was in the other room and she's screaming so loud that she cannot hear her daughter knocking on the door, trying to get into the room that she's in. And she thinks that her daughter's not going to be woken up by the fact that she's screaming and not be concerned by the fact that she's screaming. Like, that is mind-boggling. Like, she's inconsiderate. It's extremely disrespectful. And even if the kid thought that it was just her having sex, that would still be pretty traumatizing. But she's in the room screaming, and the child is at the door trying to get in, and she thinks her mom is being harmed, and she thinks it's funny.
yeah, I think it's disgusting and inappropriate. And I know some people probably feel like, oh, they're a married couple. When I first watched it, I thought that was her boyfriend, because he said your daughter wants you. But I guess after watching a different video of her explaining what happened, she said that was her husband. To me, it made me feel a little bit different because I thought it was inappropriate for her boyfriend to go to her daughter's door, but I guess that's the child's father. Maybe, I don't know. But I still find it extremely inappropriate and disgusting. Your child shouldn't be woken up in the middle of the night hearing you make private noises very loudly to the point where
You woke her up.
Yeah, she's feeling like you're being harmed, and then she comes to check on you. And I understand locking your door for privacy. I totally get that. But then for the mom to feel like, oh, this is a great time to make a TikTok video. Like,
And she's screaming so loud that she can't hear her kid at the door, but she didn't think she was going to wake her up. Like, really?
yeah, and even like that part being extremely inappropriate is one thing, but I think for me, sorry, one of the biggest parts for me that really bothered me is, even if you feel like at that moment that she did wake her daughter up, and now let me go check on my daughter, make sure she's okay. But no, that's not the first thing that came into her mind. It was, let me record this and make a TikTok video.
Right. And
My
get some
daughter
million.
is crying. My daughter is crying and in distress because of me. Let me make a TikTok video.
Yeah, she thought it was funny. That's where her pride was. She thought it was funny. I'm actually thinking that she did it on purpose, and she knew her daughter was going to hear, and that's why she did it.
That
And
makes
she
me
didn't see what her child's response was going to be.
I'm feeling the same way, just because the fact that she got her. If you're in the middle of some passionate love making with your husband, how are you thinking about, like, 2 seconds later your daughter's crying and then you're thinking of making a TikTok video?
And you're laughing.
Either you're a sociopath. She's a woman of no color, and I just like, they have a different mindset. So for me, they're like, the sociopath is connected, diabolical, evil brain. Like, so I just really don't think that they care about their kids or anybody else. So I don't feel like she has the connection to her daughter like I would.
Right, maybe
So
that's
it's hard to put to put myself in her shoes. I'm thinking of how I would think of things, but then I'm like, oh, well, she's not a Black woman, so she's not going to have that same nurturing, caring, genuine caring. It's going to be a surface and a pretend. So like in her reality, it needs to be about her. So of course she's going to pull out the video and laugh, and this is a good time for me to make some views. And I think that for her is her normal. Like, that's her normal mindset. Like, that's really their pathology, is everything needs to be about me, whether it's being the victim or whether it's getting some clout, it needs to be about them. So when I think of it as a woman of no color, then it makes a lot of sense.
Right, because they took the opportunity to try to capitalize off of the child's trauma. And it's like, are you serious? Like, this is the time, like V said, that they were in a passionate moment. So passionate that she's extremely loud and disregarding her child being in the other room asleep. And so loud that she's ignoring the fact that her child is beating on the door, trying to get into and probably hysterically beating on the door because she thinks her mom is in there being harmed, screaming for her life, possibly. So there's the child at her door, frantically trying to get in. Disregard that, because I'm in, I'm just in my pleasure. So she's in that zone, right? After she gets out of that zone, she hears that her daughter is crying for her, pretty hysterically, because she thinks that her mom is harmed. So at this point, she's laughing. Why is she laughing? Only God knows why. Because her guy just told her this. So this is funny to her. She grabs her phone, jumps on TikTok. What did he say? What happened, babe? She wants to record this. Now she's laughing and recording her guy repeat the fact that her child is crying hysterically because she thinks that you're hurt. You might want to go check on her. Like, really? This is the mood that we got going now, from passionate, wild sex, disregard for everything, and now we're he kikiing about the fact that our child is crying hysterically because she thinks that her mom was being harmed.
Yeah,
Let's get the below of this. What?
I just
Like, I'm sorry, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. Like, I've taken psychology, I've taken psychiatry, and this is giving sociopath. Like, it really is. It's not making sense. It's not.
Yeah, it does make sense if you're in the mind of a woman of no color. It's, I need to be the center. I need to be number one. Everything needs to be about me. And I mean, if you look at, that's why they're always calling the cops. That's why they're always making big Karen scenes. Everything needs to be about me. And if she's,
and then did you hear her response? Her response to it. Her response was, there's so many things that are more important than responding to my child being afraid of me having sex. Like Justin Bieber, like, and she just names off like a whole bunch of
so mad. Yeah, she was like, go meditate.
Right.
Get your feet in the grass.
Are y'all good? I'm good. And it's like,
yeah, and it's like no one was asking whether you were good. How's your daughter?
We concerned about that child, bruh.
Right.
How's she doing? And should we get some social services over there? Like, because
she never mentioned her daughter. She never mentioned that her daughter was doing okay. She was just like, I'm good. Like, no one is worried about.
Can you bring her out so we can see? Put her in front of the camera so we can see that she's good. Because have you even fed her today? Like,
No,
can we see the child? Bring her out here. Does she even have clothes on? Like, is her hair brushed? I doubt it. She seemed very neglected. That child is very neglected. You don't give a crap about her. Like, really?
Like, the whole thing was about her.
And her 6'5", and my 6'5" husband. So he's hot. Okay. But what about your child though? What's she doing? Oh, she's listening to you have sex? Oh, okay. How funny. Let's kiki kaka.
What? The disgusting part is that is probably part of her enjoying it.
Right. Probably knowing her daughter. Yeah, it was turning her on. Apparently. I mean, she got so into it that it was just her, like, cracking her up, that the fact that her daughter was traumatized by it, crying hysterically, beating on the door, trying to rescue you because you think you're being harmed. But, you know, hee. We're fine. We're good over here. We're good. You wouldn't be good if I saw you. But anyways, that was my rant on that. She's a horrible person, and
Gross.
I can't with her.
Yeah, just no maternal instincts, but that's how they are. So I no shock here. No shock. I'm just surprised she didn't call the police and then call her on her daughter and say she attacked her or
start crying, saying that her daughter was bothering her or something. I'm surprised she didn't make herself a victim of the response that she got.
No, of course she did.
No, she didn't. We're good. She was good. So,
yeah, so she's like, stop bothering her. She's good. Go find something else. Go put your feet in the grass. She's good. She did make it about. She's good.
Oh yeah.
Leave her alone.
She's got her toes in the grass.
Yeah, don't worry about her. She's fine. why are you even interested that her daughter is crying and she posted that? Like, you see the whole pathology. I'm gonna post this online on a social media platform that millions of people are on. But then when people question what's in it,
Right.
why are you questioning it? There's lots of things you
And
can be
she's not even gonna, right, not gonna answer any questions about it.
yeah.
There's other things to talk about.
And that's what I mean when it's the victimization. She needs to be a victim because now you're questioning what I posted, but I don't even know there's better things you could be doing than questioning what I just posted.
Right.
Why are you all in my business? Why are you attacking my situation? You attack, go put your feet in the grass.
Right.
Like, you posted it.
Did you not think that anyone was gonna have an opinion? You thought
It's like,
everyone's gonna watch it and then eyes glaze over and no thoughts were gonna come up. Okay.
yeah,
That's
there's a victim mindset. The whole I need to be a victim in some way, somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I genuinely can't with them, so.
Speaking of, I need to go sit in the sun and I need to go put my feet in the grass.
I need to go put my feet in the water.
So we are going to wrap this up. Thank you, everybody, for taking some time out of your Saturday to join us and listen to our rants, our unorganized rants. We are hoping to be a little more organized next time, but if we're not, just understand that we're not organized yet. We have, well, me and Ella have anxieties, and
We got junk going on in our lives.
yeah, there's a lot going on in our lives.
We just
and
showing up.
Yeah, that's with everyone. So we try to show up, and we try to look presentable for you guys, and we do
And
our
gals.
best. So
Right.
thank you for showing up, and we will see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest